So Trump wants to colonize Palestine. What do we do now? So Donald Trump basically came out yesterday, Tuesday, the 4th of February, I believe, and basically openly said, hey, we want to own Palestine. The United States will own Gaza, they'll own Palestine, and people are confused, people are rightfully scared, and let's talk about what we should be doing now that we have that information. I just also want to say this has been the United States' goal the entire time. Joe Biden wanted to forcefully remove Palestinians from Palestine as well, particularly Gaza in his case, and he tried to bribe Egypt into doing this. But given the fact that Israel controls who can go back into Gaza, that basically meant that all the Palestinians being pushed out of Gaza meant Israel had free reign to colonize Gaza. So both Biden and Trump, they are on the same team. They are just on Team America, trying to help their proxy state, Israel, colonize as much land as possible. Now, what can we do? So there is someone I'm mutuals with on TikTok, Jupiterbaal. Listen, I do subscribe to you on YouTube. I'm just using a different account when I'm taking the screenshot, okay? But he released a really great video on TikTok, which he is a good follow. I don't know how often he posts on YouTube, but on TikTok it's basically daily. A great video saying this is the time to actually get into doing things like mutual aid and organizing, because that's the best way to be combating these things. People in Gaza need our help anyway, and we need to be able to show solidarity and show our governments, even if we're outside of the United States, the best way to combat them, and that we are against their support for the United States and Israel's colonization. Now, I want to preface this by saying, like I have done in previous videos, if you are organizing and you don't feel like you want to share that, that is okay. Personally, I think that is good. If you are doing local community organizing as well, and you're doing stuff like that, personally, I think you shouldn't share it, because it may protect you, it may protect people around you, especially if you live in a place where they try and crack down on you organizing. So you not saying anything about your organizing is fine, as long as you can get it done in your local area if you want to, or even smaller than that, with your family and your friends, your workplace, you can do that. Let's give you some examples. So if you are a student, you can go and do something at your university. There will probably be a group at your university who is trying to fight for Palestinian solidarity. And this isn't just limited to Palestine, about anything that you care about. There will be something at your university doing this. Obviously, stuff like encampments may be cracked down upon violently by the police or the authorities or whoever. So do be mindful for that kind of stuff if you are worried about that. But other things at your university, you can get involved. Same thing with your workplace. I don't know about the United States, but here in the UK, there have been healthcare workers coming out protesting for Palestine across the country, and it's great to see. Private businesses, people are doing that as well. Obviously, with privately owned businesses, they might try and crack down on you getting that stuff done as well. HR might call you into a meeting, if you know what I mean. But if you are feeling confident, if there are people at your workplace who you trust, make sure you trust these people and you know these people, and you're getting involved in doing stuff like this at work, I recommend it. Again, like I said, make sure it's with people you trust, people you know will have your back. You don't want this to be a case of, corporate manipulation. You should never put that past a company you work for. Now, if you want to do something else like mutual aid, I've heard great things about Darnoon Mutual Aid. I haven't actually personally donated to them yet before, so I would also go further into looking into them. But from the research I was doing for this video, I've seen multiple people come out and say, yeah, I trust them, I believe them, it's verified. So this is one place you can go and donate money if you want to donate money for mutual aid. All the links to the next couple of slides are going to be in the description down below, so you can go to them there and check them out. But mutual aid is a thing that you can do to help the Palestinian people as well. PCRF again is a bigger charity, and I know some people have reservations about donating to bigger charities because obviously the money doesn't go 100% to the people. It does go into maintaining the charity itself. I get that, but Sean from Sean Vids is doing a live stream at the moment as of me recording it, and I think he's doing it over 5 days, so I believe this will probably finish the day after this video comes out, if this comes out on Thursday, how I'm trying to get it to come out. So Sean is raising money for PCRF. So if you're a Sean fan, you want to do it through his link or whatever, you can go check that out on Twitch and or his YouTube channel. But that's kind of why I mentioned PCRF, because I saw he was doing this and I thought, okay, maybe you are just someone who wants to go through a charity and you trust Sean because Sean makes banger videos. He doesn't know me. Now, some accounts on Instagram that people I know have recommended or that I follow that you should, get involved with, who also do like on the ground stuff with Palestine. So Gaza Mutual Aid Collective and Humanity Projects are basically more so on the ground stuff. I added Palestine Solidarity UK, or Palestine Solidarity Campaign, I suppose, because they're the biggest group in the UK doing stuff. Again, they are slightly more of a charity, and so sometimes they will ask for funds. Well, they're not technically a charity. They make that clear. They're not a charity, but they are an organization, and some of the funds will go towards helping the organization run, not just going to stuff like mutual aid. But they are the ones that organize all the big protests in London and across the country. They do have local branches as well, so you should look for their local branch too. I know they have a Brixton one. I think they don't have one in my local area, but places like Brixton has one. There's good few up north as well, so you can check out more local activations for Palestine Solidarity Campaign as well if you're in the UK. Obviously, I'm not too sure about more US-facing ones. Like I said, Palestine Solidarity Campaign does the national demonstrations. If you are feeling confident, if you are feeling like you can come to the national demonstration on the 15th of February, you should go. I recommend it. They're always, a really great way of you seeing people who actually care. Because I feel like when you are doing any sort of activism, you just feel like maybe people don't care. And it's really disheartening, and you go there and you see so many people actually care. And that's why I recommend going to demonstrations. I will say, do not go on your own. Make sure you go with someone, especially if it's the first demonstration you're going to. You should always have someone with you. Make sure it's someone you trust. Again, it's important. I will note the last one I went to, so the one that happened, I think, a week or two ago, as of me recording this, the police were a little bit rough and tumble with us. They were definitely being a lot more aggressive or standoffish than they have been in the past for these demonstrations. So like I said, make sure you go with someone, make sure you stay safe, follow good protest etiquette, and I highly recommend going to these, especially if you haven't been to a protest before or a demonstration before. I recommend going to these. They're quite safe, but make sure you go with people you know and trust. And you know what? If all of those things are things you don't feel comfortable doing, or maybe you don't have any money to be able to take part, it's a cause he lives at the moment. It's difficult. Just get involved with BDS. I think this is the easiest, most accessible way for you to do something to help Palestine, other than like sharing information. That's probably even easier. BDS, a collective of Palestinian groups and peoples and everything across the board who have basically come together and put a list of things to avoid purchasing or to divest from. I think this is a pretty updated version of the graphic that they've been sharing. So consumer boycott targets means things you should not be buying. So AXA, Carrefour products, Puma Still, SodaStream, Siemens, HP, these are all things and companies that directly impact the daily lives of Palestinian people that you can avoid buying. Divestment targets, this means, you basically go to a place you work or you study and tell them, hey, can you guys stop working with these companies because of their role in destroying Palestine? For example, Caterpillar's up there because they make specially built tractors to destroy Palestinian homes. Pressure, non-boycott targets, these are ones where they've kind of recognized that it's very difficult to avoid using these in everyday life. Some of them more so than others. So like Google and Amazon, it's very difficult to avoid them, even down to the fact that a lot of websites are run off Amazon web servers. But you try and pressure both these companies and, places you work with to avoid working with these companies, or get those companies to pull out of working in Palestine. I do also say personally, as a side note, if you can avoid using any of these, do. Places like Amazon, Airbnb, Booking.com, Expedia, Disney, those are quite easy to avoid. Like, just go book directly with the hotel or book directly with the airline. Even their adverts of, we'll find you the cheapest price. It's not always the case anymore. And Disney, there's other methods of watching Disney stuff, if you know what I mean. Stuff like Google's a little bit harder. Even Amazon, like Amazon Web Services, it is a little bit harder to avoid. And given how much these companies invest in other companies. Organic boycott targets, these were basically ones that BDS didn't come up with themselves, but the people did, and BDS endorsed them. Domino's, McDonald's, Papa John's, Burger King, Pizza Hut all gave money to Israeli occupation force soldiers and also gave food to them. Wix is an Israeli-based company which the Israeli occupation forces and other Israeli propaganda arms use to make websites and stuff for their propaganda. So that's why that's on there. And also, you see that little cute cat in the corner? That is the logo for the Boycat app. The Boycat app has partnered with BDS to be the official BDS boycott app. So you can just scan the cans or products, the barcodes of them, or I think you just scan the product itself. It does work pretty well. You scan them and it'll tell you if this is something you should boycott. So, for example, SodaStream owns a bunch of stuff. I know this is a slightly older graphic actually because Coca-Cola's not in here because Coca-Cola is now a consumer boycott target. My bad. So like Coca-Cola owned products. I went out, I wanted to buy a Bev because I was out and I didn't know who owned Monster, so I scanned the Monster and Monster's owned by Coca-Cola, so I didn't buy the Monster. I scanned a Red Bull. Red Bull isn't a boycott target in relation to BDS, so that's awesome. So that's something you can do as well. Again, these are very easy ways of getting involved and avoiding giving money to companies that are helping Israel colonize Palestine. So those are the things we need to do to oppose this colonization. So Trump wants to colonize Palestine, just like Biden did. So get involved, do some activism. You don't need to talk about it vocally. That's fine. I completely understand that. See what you can do. Start small if you want to. If you're a student, go do stuff with your university. If you're a worker, see if there's anything you can do at work or even with friends and stuff. Obviously, I didn't mention that. You can do stuff just with friends and family as well, even raising money and stuff. Do it through them if that's what you're most comfortable with. Donate to mutual aid things like Danone, PCRF if you want to go for more of a charity thing. Doing stuff even like this, streaming if you're a streamer, if you're an artist, doing stuff like this to give money to places like PCRF or Danone. Use your skills. That is something so cool. If you're an artist, if you're a gamer, if you're a musician and you can do stuff like that, that's awesome. I have no skills, so I'm just talking to you on the camera. Check out these other places where you can get involved with mutual aid. You can get involved with activations, stuff like that. Get more information as well about what's happening on the ground in Gaza. Go to demonstrations, and if all else, try and get involved with the BDS campaign. It's actually a way of saving money as well. I'm not buying Monsters for £1 when I go out. I just don't buy anything. I'm not buying fast food as much, which is awesome. I'm not going to buy a SodaStream. I couldn't afford a SodaStream anyway, but I'm definitely not buying a SodaStream. I'm not getting like rubbish Puma trainers. It's great. So if you can get involved in any of these ways, that is the best way we can counteract this colonial goal of the United States. I know it seems scary. I know it seems like, oh, what am I going to do against the US? But this is a way of you to get involved and help. Because truly, if there's a mass swelling of this, we will win. We will inevitably win anyway, but we will win. So please just keep believing, please keep fighting, please keep getting involved. All the links are going to be down below. The link to Jupiterbaal's account is going to be down below as well. So go give him a follow. Thank you for watching, and hey, please see if you can get involved with doing anything like this, even if it's just boycotting using the BDS list.